roller lifters really the answer in your classic engine build? I wanted to do a video about these modern roller lifters or retrofit hydraulic roller lifters. So if you've got a 97 and older big block Chevy, these are what you'd have to run to retrofit to a roller cam. And I have notes. Used Herbert lifters, green El Camino, 1 pair milling, Rich's car, broken plunger. So these are from 15-ish years ago, 16 years ago, Melling, good brand name. And well, and then they aren't Melling in here. So this is actually a set of Herbert lifters. These are hydraulic rollers. And on this one, the button broke. So the tie bar came off. Here's the little piece of tie bar. Well, actually, that's the bottom of the lifter. There's the button. It was laying in my valley. And so there you go. It's probably a needle bearing or two made it into the oil pan. So the button, this that holds the tie bar, broke off. And that allowed the lifter to turn sideways in the bore. It actually luckily didn't turn completely sideways, but you can see how much damage that did to the wheel. You can see it even ground off the bottom of the lifter body because that was what was riding up the ramp of the cam lobe. So it ruined the cam, ruined obviously the lifters. And everybody's saying, well, why don't you run, we just run roller in all of our stuff. It's not a magic bullet to have a roller lifter in an old engine. And that's why I kind of went back to the flat tappet for the customer stuff, because there's just a lot less moving parts. You got a lot of moving parts with a roller. And I had a lot of problems with them. This is a pair of Melling lifters. And this one's defect. And I'm going to have to get into some better light. Let's see here. If you look down in there, you can see the snap ring. And there's a big gap below the snap ring and the plunger. See that one? The snap ring is right against the plunger. The plunger on this lifter broke on the test drive. It was literally the test drive. It's a 496, and it was being driven very nice and easy. It was probably 5 or 6 miles into the initial test drive of the car, and it just started, tick, 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 super loud under the hood. And I'm like, what the crap? Got back. Anyway, so, everybody's like, well, run roller. Well, I had to pull the valve covers. I had to pull the intake manifold, which is, pull the distributor, pull the plug wires, pull the carb linkage, pull the fuel line, pull the coolant hoses. So like I said, in my opinion, retrofitting to roller lifters is not the end all be all. They have their problems too. There's a lot more moving parts. And again, it's the integrity of the company building, where they're outsourcing their parts from. Is it really truly a US made or some other first world, German part, or heck, even Japanese stuff is pretty darn good at this point. But yeah, here's 2 sets of failed hydraulic roller lifters, brand name on one of them. The other, I mentioned when I was talking about buying used engines, that 468, the reason that engine was apart and getting sold is because one of those roller lifters failed. And it was in a classic, like an older El Camino. So not a lot of miles got put on that car. And that one had a failure too. So I don't know what the answer is. What do you guys think?